Oh, let me enjoy the rainy season. Today we have some rain in Arizona. So perhaps people have not joined. They are enjoying rain. Many years ago, I would say 20, 25 years ago, I had a young guy who was only 5 feet around and having 130 or 140 kilogram weight, very obese, very fat. He loved me, always in meditation. Always, he used to attend all my sessions. So the moment I started speaking, within few minutes, his head down and he started snoring. So I used to say, what happened? No, sir, I was paying too much of attention. I was totally absorbed. But you were snoring. No, sir. He was not able to recognize it. You change the topic, and today's topic is perhaps that what is practice? How to reach to that state of the practice where we can attain that state of emptiness so that the mind, in the mind, then that real self reveals itself. And same thing used to happen with that guy in meditation. So there used to be 25, 40 people in India, and then he started snoring, used to disturb. But he had a commitment that I realized. So when I started giving the practice of meditation after the talk, I used to be very near to him because I observed the moment his breath rate changes and he may fall into snoring. Because normally, in sleep, your breath rate becomes little deeper. So the moment his breath rate changes, I used to press his hand. So he used to return into a conscious state from the snoring. And it happened for about 3 months. And after 3 months, he realized that I fall into unconsciousness. And he was successful. So we do not know how this mind will play its tricks to prevent a meditative state. I take it for granted, I was absorbed, my head falls down. I started snoring, I'm totally absorbed. So, what is this problem? The mind totally sits in the body. When the mind completely sits in the body, absorbed by the body, then the mind behaves like a matter, and that is one of the greatest obstacles in the path of meditation. And those who know the yoga discipline, Jerry, it is the tamasic mind loves the body, to be with the body, to identify with the body. It doesn't want to divorce the body. And that is why we have this problem. There was another guy, I remember, he was only 35, 36. There is a $20 billion company in India. In those days, I think, it was Birla or someone. And this young guy was the CEO of the company, even at the age of 35. Sometimes you know that my native language is not English, and sometimes it becomes difficult for you even to understand what I'm speaking. He used to correct lot of mistakes that I used to speak during the practice of meditation. So his focus used to be how to correct me, not learning meditation. not listening. Very hyperactive. I'm just laying a foundation of today's principle. Earning a lot of money, he reached to that state, and even at the age of 35. And he came to me because he had two heart attacks. That was the problem. So his doctor suggested him, that was known to me, that you should go to this guy who will help you to relax and calm. Perhaps that will bring a change in your mind, and that will prevent the third heart attack. Just after the practice, he used to be totally relaxed, calm, because he had a very high IQ. He understood it. But just after the practice, his nature returned. The old habit returned, hyperactive. Body started visiting, he started speaking, and he used to note down, I made a mistake in my expression 5 or 7 times during the talk. I'm sorry to say, after a few months, he died. Even he got a third heart attack. So, from where I started the talk, you made a conscious decision to divorce the mind. Very good. That is the first step. But now I have to check whether the mind has divorced me or not. Why it does not divorce me? Because of the past impressions, because of my habit, because of my impulsive nature. I have to get rid of it in order to make the mind empty. So we started. We said, Patanjali says, this master says, what he says, that regular practice with wisdom. That was the first principle. And that wisdom means that I should be able to separate real from the unreal. Like the obese guy, he used to snow, no, no, sir, I'm in meditation. I was totally absorbed. You see, regular practice with wisdom, with clarity of understanding should be there. Then only we succeed. Otherwise, success is not there. Second point, there's a young guy. So those who are in the field of yoga, so that mind is dominated, dictated by Rajoguna, the hyperactivity, always in action. That mind can also not be made empty. So, in the second sutra, we understood last week what exactly it means by the practice of meditation. Practice even of asana means, is there a steadiness in the body? Practice of pranayama means, is there a relaxation in the mind when you are doing some practice of breathing? Same thing applies. That in meditation, practice means the mind has to return to the fourth state again and again and again. Once the mind knows how to return to that state, then nobody can prevent you to succeed in meditation. So now comes the principle. Yeah, there is something more. Yeah, I can pick up a little bit more. So I talked about satoguna, rajoguna, and tamoguna. So when we say satoguna, it is of the nature of knowledge. Knowledge takes place in the intellect with clarity, with conviction, and with awareness. The mind should not interfere. If the mind interferes, the mind has not divorced me, then that knowledge is polluted by the mind. Anything that is inert, what is inert? How do you define the inertness? The phone cannot know me and cannot know itself. Anything that cannot know itself and cannot know others is what is the meaning of inert. So it contains tamasic guna. You refer to that obese guy snoring. Hey, you were snoring. No, sir, I was totally absorbed. Inertness. So when the mind lives into that state of inertness, then only we cannot succeed in meditation. Another guy, 35 years of age, 2 heart attacks. And question is why I am getting heart attack at the age of 35. Hyperactivity. The mind is constantly active. Another guy I remember, I don't name the person. Sir, when I get a grand idea about my business in meditation, that is a good thought. Should I keep it in meditation? What do you say? I have to make my mind empty, whether it is a good thought or a bad thought or a negative or a positive. Content is a content of the mind. That will make the mind impure. We need emptiness. You see, a rationalization. This rationalization is a cheating by you to yourself. It will not work. Meditation. Can I eat a breakfast in the restroom? Do it whatever you want to do. So do. I cannot say anything. But that is not meditation. So we are going little deeper. So the Rajasic Guna, activity comes from the Rajasic Guna. So what the master says, beautiful. Patanjali says, Satu Dirghakalam Nairantaryam Satkar Sevito Dradbhumi, the 14th Sutra of Patanjali. So he says 4 aspects to get rid of these challenges of the mind. First thing, practice regularly. Second thing, continuity should be there. Third, commitment should be there. Fourth, intense aspiration should be there. Intense aspiration should be there. Our culture, the moment we wake up in the morning, hey honey, how are you? And we kiss each other. Indians are a little bit shy. Do we kiss? Do we kiss our real self by remembering when we wake up in the morning? That begins the intense aspiration. Huh? I'm picking up briefly. It's a long uh, discussion and understanding. So, our master says that when you sleep, all our desires also sleeps. The mind has made it a habit. The moment we wake up, those desires also wake up. What is intense aspiration and commitment? The moment we wake up in the morning, the first thing, the first thought, the first idea should be the goal of life. That is self discovery before any desire takes over my mind. You do it minimum for a week, and the next week you will see the result. The first thing that comes, is my mind empty? Have I divorced the mind? Yes, the mind is calm and empty. And then what what will mean the commitment? Let me resolve. I will keep that calmness behind all my activities, thought, speech, and action. Just will it couple of times. So, meditation is not 1 hour practice. Meditation should enter in our life day to day, from moment to moment. So, first is a practice. Practice means I should do it daily. I should not break it. When it breaks up? So simple. The moment I wake up, desire also wakes up. And because they did not divorce me yet, so they will take over me. And then I say, today let me skip it. I have lot of things to do in the world. Who does it? You. If you are not calm and you say that you have to do lot of things in the world, what does it mean? You want the most beautiful watch, you want the most beautiful phone, you want the most beautiful home, but why you don't want the most beautiful mind? Ask yourself why you don't seek the most beautiful mind. And the most beautiful mind is empty mind. So that is why the master says intense aspiration, intense desire to divorce the mind so that one day the mind will divorce you. In order to help mind divorce us, traditionally, I think we have 1,000 practices, small tools. Should I give you one tool and before we begin the meditation? I just, it came to my mind. It is in one of the very old text, which is known as Puranas. There are 18 Puranas. Because the mind moves to the desires with an image, thought, image, feeling, intent. Thought, image, feeling, intent. You see a beautiful girl, everything is okay unless you have an intent, an image of a passion. Now remove the image of a passion. Girl is beautiful, that's all. Remind me, so we'll take it. I don't know. I remember that. That's a beautiful. It will take some time to remember. So ultimately, what happens by these two examples, the mind sits in the body. Body is a matter. Matter is inert. Hence, what happens? It creates a great obstacle. How you can break it? By practice, by continuity, by commitment, by intense aspiration. Hyperactivity, same thing applies. And another instant, another example, we have to remember what is commitment. Think of it and then do it. Intense aspiration. Intense aspiration works at the thinking level. Thought. Do I really think of meditation? Or I become very serious when we attend a group session. And after that, mind becomes non serious. That is what I said. The calmness should be working behind every thought, speech, and action. How it happens? Master says, I'm not saying. That is the beauty. I leave all the responsibilities completely on you and the teacher who says this principle. Satu dirgha kalam. Dirgha kalam means for a longer period. Longer period means that you don't break the commitment to yourself to discover your real nature or to live, think, work in peace, happiness, love, and wisdom that comes from within you. That is your commitment. That is why you are doing the practice. Nirantaryam, continuity, satkar, with respect, with commitment. That is the meaning. Satkar, sevito dradabhumi. So then what happens? This mind, which does not want to divorce you, is ready to leave all its content. Goal is emptiness. Let us start our journey of the practice of meditation now.